So now we want to finalise our characters so that we can place them into Illustrator. Okay, hopefully by now you've actually got 3 or 4, completed characters. Okay, so I'll do this process to this one character, but you'll need to do it to all 4 of your characters. Okay, so firstly we want to get rid of all the white background and just ensure that there's white just behind our character. Okay, that way that when we put a colour background in, at the end we'll have her eyeballs and her teeth, which are white now, will still retain whiteness to them. Okay, so we want to open up our layers folder. We can go into our, click on our layers in the side menu, or you can go up to Windows, go layers, and out they pop. Okay, we need to get our magic wand. Okay, and we're going to select the background. Okay, you'll see that under her arm next to the paper, it hasn't been selected, so click, I'm going to click, yours will be different. I'm going to click, hold shift and click with magic wand, and so it's selected all of it. And then I'm going to go delete. Okay, looks like it hasn't changed. We're going to then click on the white background and hit delete. Okay, so now our character's sitting on a transparent background. Okay, we want to add colour, but first, before we do that, we need to enlarge the size of the canvas, so the artboard. Okay, so to do that, we're going to go up under image, go to image size. Under the size, we want to go percent. We want to enlarge it by 150%. So type that in both height and width. Okay, and then press OK. Okay, so our characters stayed the same size. We've just got a much broader area to be able to put our background into. That means when we place it into Illustrator, into the circle, you're not going to get any little white gaps where your artboard's been too small. Okay, there's going to be plenty of white coloured background to make sure that your character can sit comfortably within the template. Okay, so what we want to do first is let's merge these. Okay, we want to merge these because we're happy, we've finalised our character now, we don't need to make any more changes to them. So before I do that, I'm going to hit save, or I'm going to go under the menu and go save. Okay, because we're happy with this, so in case we make any mistakes we can always go back. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go under here, I'm going to go merge layers. Now, merge layers is going to give us one flat image, but still with a transparent background, so that when we put our background in next, you'll pretty much have character and background on the 2 layers. Okay, we want to save as this first. Okay, we've already got save, which is it's got all our existing layers. Now let's go save as. So under file, we go save as. Save it onto your computer. Okay, we're going to call this one white background. Actually, I'm going to go underscore white BGD for background. Okay, and I'm going to keep that as a Photoshop file because when I place that into Illustrator, there'll be no background there. It'll come in as a transparent background, which will be great. So we can sit them all side by side and we won't have to worry about white gaps sitting over the top of the other characters. Okay, so let's go save. Again, computer's a bit slow. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to add a new layer, and we're going to put this layer at the bottom. Okay, and this is going to be our background layer. So we can go to the side and go new layer there, or you can click on this little icon down the bottom with the plus and it'll give us a new layer. Drag that layer to the bottom and we're going to call this layer color background. Okay, so you can choose to put any sort of background you like, but what you want to make sure you're doing is working on this base layer now, because otherwise if you put background onto your line work, onto this layer, you're pretty much going to wipe out your character. So make sure you're working on the character background. Okay, I'm going to choose to do a vignette in the back, so a gradient in my background. I want it to sort of be almost like a sky. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the gradient tool. Okay, in my foreground and background colours, I've already chosen some colours. So I've chosen a blue for my foreground, so that'll be my first colour on the gradient, and I've chosen a blue, we can make it a bit darker, as our second colour on the gradient. So click on your gradient tool and you can just click and drag it, okay? You can drag it straight, okay? I'm going to go undo and I'll show you again. You can go on an angle, okay? If you want to have more of the foreground colour, the light, more of the light and less of the dark, you can start your gradient down lower. You can see I've got it on her face. I'm going to start the light, therefore more light will be up the top and less down the bottom. Let's have a look. I'm going to drag that out. Okay, so I'm going, cool, I really like that now. So again, I'm going to go save as. Okay, so save as, so go under File. We're going to go save as, save onto my computer. You may not get that message. That might be just my computer doing that. This time I'm going to save it as a JPEG, okay, because I want to keep it as small as possible in file size. So I'll save it as a JPEG. We don't need any transparency here, so it doesn't need to be a Photoshop file. So I'm going to go JPEG. We'll call this one Color Background. Okay, when it's a JPEG, it'll actually flatten it, so you won't have the two separate layers. Okay. And go save. And I'll go maximum, give me the best quality I can get. Okay, and there you have it. So if I close, I'm just going to minimize it so you can't see it. And now you're going to see my messy desktop. If I minimize that and have a look in my badges setup, let's have a look. Is that going to open for me? Thinking about it. Okay, so you can see here that I have got okay, today I've got one here that says color background, and if I hold the space bar you can see what it is. Sorry, slowness. Okay, that's our coloured background one, that's our JPEG, it's flattened, no layers. And this one here, if I open it up, that's our white one, and you can sort of see there's a bit of a glow through where you can see my background of my screen. That means that's transparent. Okay, so they're the two that we're going to use to place into Illustrator. And that is the end of this little tutorial, and the next one that you'll be looking at will be me placing them into the Adobe Illustrator template. Okay, good luck with doing that. You need to do that first before you can move on to placing them in the Illustrator template. So go for it. Okay, good luck.